Hey everybody, this is Marie, the Everyday Mother, bringing you today's Daily Mother Mythbuster. So we're going to talk a little bit about passion. Now, I think you would agree with me that all of the successful people in the area of marketing and sales and business are all passionate about what they do, right? They're passionate about what they're selling. They're passionate about what it is they're trying to accomplish. And it's that passion that makes them so successful because it continues to drive them on no matter what. So passion sells. You have to have passion to be able to sell. So we as stay-at-home mothers have an advantage. And that advantage is that we are not being relied upon to make an income, right? So there are some of you that may be working moms, and I'm sure you can agree with me that passion is still such an important thing for you to be able to make that money. But right now we're just going to talk about the area of stay-at-home mothers just for a second. So as stay-at-home mothers, we have the opportunity that we are not necessarily being relied upon to make any money. Now, if you're like me, there's still that little twinge of something inside you that wants to be able to do that wants to make some money. I know I think sometimes, oh, if I made a little bit of money, we could afford this. Or if I made a little bit of money, I could do this, this, and this. I would have just a little bit more. There's just something inside me that still feels like I want to do something. A lot of people have the misconception in motherhood and at stay-at-home moms that you have to give up everything else to be a stay-at-home mom, that you have to give up your work, that you have to give up your passions, that you have to give up your careers, and all you get to do is sit at home watching your kids play, right? So it's true. There are still times where I sit back and I watch my kids and I just get to just watch them and that's it. But the difference is now I get to choose that because there's still this other side of me that has this huge passion that is just bursting out of me. So what I've learned is that motherhood is such a huge part of my life, but it cannot fill me up all the way. I would say if I had a bucket, motherhood would take me really, really, really close to the top, but would not overflow. It's passion that takes you from that leftover that spills over the top, that gives me a fulfilling life, and that allows me to, when I'm with my kids, enjoy being with my kids because I know that besides that, I have this passion that is just filling my heart and my soul and allows me to be who I am. So I don't lose myself in motherhood. So we as stay-at-home mothers are so lucky to be in this time because we get to experience so many different things that other people at other times of being stay-at-home mother may not have. So we get to stay at home and still have our passions because there are so many outlets for us to be able to enjoy that. Now, I have brothers that are amazing and they love to think big. They are just like me and they dream big and they want to go after those dreams and there is nothing that's going to hold them back. And that is amazing and it's such a gift to have. But I have the advantage over them because I get to pick these passions and take my time moving into them because I have a husband that is so ridiculously reliable that brings in the bacon every single day. So I get to test out my passions. I get to test things out and I get to take my time building up because it takes time to build up these passions and this purpose inside me. And I get to do this without risking the roof over my head. And what I love about all the mothers that I've talked to that have these passions inside them that are starting to let loose is as mothers we have this like nurturing ability just obviously innately inside of us that comes out more and more as we are mothers, and that shows up in their passion. So all of these mothers that are just bursting with passion are usually the ones that have these things that are just going to touch people's lives, that are going to benefit others in such a huge degree. And that's what I love. It's so exciting because it's this time where we get to enjoy being mothers and get to enjoy sharing our passion with others and helping others in such a huge degree that was never really available before because now we have the internet and now we have more acceptance and now there's so much more knowledge and ability for us to grasp onto that and to then find ways to help others in massive amounts. So the change came for me 2 years ago, and I was having one of those days where I was just kind of sitting around and the day just seemed to drag on. It was like 10:30 in the morning, and it felt like it should have been 5 o'clock at night, and I was not sure I was going to make it. I don't know, maybe you've been there. It just felt like that day was going to last forever. The kids weren't being super horrible. There was nothing really that was throwing me completely off, but inside me I just felt like, huh. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to do something. Hopefully it will keep things moving, just wake me up a little bit. I'm going to read a book. So I walked up into my closet and just started looking, and I found this book that my dad gave me. It was called The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. I don't know if you've read it, but if you have not, I highly suggest reading this book. And I sat down and I just started reading it, flipping through it, and while I was reading it, I kept thinking, okay, so this is how I can get my husband to do this, and this is how I can manage our money so we can become millionaires. This is how I can do this and this and this and this. And then finally, about halfway through the book, it hit me. And I just sat there and I went, what am I doing sitting around waiting for my husband to make all of the money? My husband makes fine money. Nothing wrong with that. All of a sudden it hit me. I can do something too. Why am I sitting around waiting for him to do everything? I have a life. I have a passion. I have a gift that was sent with me here on this earth. What am I doing? Why am I not grabbing my life? Why am I allowing my life to just slip right past? And it opened my eyes. And that was the beginning where I got this little glimmer of light inside me that kind of started to shine just a little bit. And it was like, you can do this. You can do this. I didn't know what I was going to do yet. I didn't even know what my passion was yet. I had no idea. But all of a sudden it hit me. I can do something bigger. I can do whatever I want. I can do anything. I think so often as mothers, we forget that there is a world outside of our four walls. I know I do. Sometimes I'm like driving and I get on the freeway. I'm like, I haven't been on the freeway in like 6 months. I had no idea all this stuff was out here. I get so stuck in my own four walls that I forget that there is a whole world out there waiting for me to touch it with what I know. And that is the same for you. There is something inside of you that is just the world is just waiting for. The world is waiting for whatever you have to offer it. And this is true for everyone. And it's amazing. It's amazing that there is enough space in this world for every single one of us to do anything we want to do. It's amazing. And we need to grab that and allow that to become part of our lives and to allow that passion to start building up inside of us. So I'm guessing by now some of you are thinking, you know what? There is a little something inside me that's saying I can do something bigger. I'm not saying that motherhood is not one of the most important roles we will play, but it's not the only important role we will play, and that is where I've been stuck for so long. There are so many other things we can do while being mothers. We don't have to give up our motherhood to go do something big. We do not have to abandon our children. They will not be neglected if we are shining our light. Can you see what a difference it will make in these kids' lives? If they see you going after your goals and after your passion, and they see you doing huge things, especially for those daughters that you are raising, they will go, my mom can do anything, and so can I. And that is exactly what we can offer these children that was never really an option before. So many times we get stuck in our heads. We either have to be a mother or we have to do something we believe in. We can do both, and they can play such a harmonious role together. All we have to do is find that passion and allow it to come out. And I can tell that there are so many of you out there that already have that inside you, that are already waiting for that, and are already waiting for the permission to allow that to come out. I don't have to give you that permission. There have been so many times in my life where I sat around waiting for someone to give me permission to do something huge. You have that permission. You have to give it to yourself. So figure out what your passion is, and we're going to continue to talk about this and how it relates to money and your life and motherhood and all of these amazing truths. So stick with me and join me in the next video. We'll see you there.